are talking about breaking menstrual health taboos and stigma. Also, getting men involved. That is the conversation we are having today. It is a Zimbabwe's radio broadcast simulcast. We're live right here on Star FM, sounding good all the time, on Diamond FM as well as on Platinum FM. We welcome our listeners. I am Vika and Madlamini. We're also live on Facebook. You can join the conversation. If you have any questions or contributions, our WhatsApp line is very active and your contributions are welcome. 0775 897 897. And for your psychosocial support and SRHR related solutions, we also have our toll-free line, which is 577. It is always available for your psychosocial support and SRHR related solutions. Joining us for the conversation today is Desmond Chimanga. He is a student together with Mary Madura, a student, and Martha Mapala, a student as well. Ladies, gentlemen, good morning and welcome.
Good morning, Candy. How are you?
I'm good, thanks. How are you?
We are doing fine. How is everything?
Good. How is everything your end?
It's going on so pretty well.
Love to hear that. So let's start with you, Martha. Martha, what are the taboos associated with menstrual health, that young women and girls encounter as they manage their menstrual hygiene?
Okay, so one of the popular taboo is discussing menstruation on public platforms, like what we are already doing here. People are not, girls and young women are not allowed to discuss openly about menstruation, and it is regarded as rude and a taboo to discuss it in public. Another taboo is that women are dirty. Mm-hmm. Most communities, most people, most religion and cultures think that when a person, a girl or a young woman is menstruating, it means she's dirty, she's unclean, or she's sinful in other religions, which is not even correct at all. In communities like India, there is what they call chowpat. This chowpat is a practice whereby young women and young girls, when they're in their menses, they're supposed to go and live outside the hut. They don't stay with the rest of the family, and in doing so, they stay using their own cutlery, using their own utensils until the day they finish their menses. That's when they are allowed to come back in the house. We find that in other religions, when a young woman is menstruating, she's not allowed to come to the temple. She can't even greet the priest. Some people believe that when you're sick, when you've got a problem, you should visit and consult the priest. But when she's menstruating, it means that all those privileges have been cut off because she can't go to the temple, she can't meet the priest. Another taboo is that when women are menstruating, they are supposed to burn or to bury the clothes they are using in other communities, because these clothes are viewed as a bad luck. Some cultures believe that blood is associated with maggost. They think maggost, they drink blood. So when a young person, a young girl is menstruating, it means she can easily attract the spirit of the ghost, thereby bringing harm to other people. So they discriminate those young people. They go and stay alone, like what they do in chowpat communities. Another taboo is that when young women are menstruating, they are discouraged from washing their genitals. This is done to eliminate the possibility of contaminating the bathing areas, the bathing water in the rivers. When you stay in the places whereby you go to the river to bath, you are not allowed to bath the genital areas because they think the whole river stream will be having a bad luck because someone who was menstruating has bathed on that river.
Okay. It sounds so unbelievable, but then, some communities are still practicing this. Thank you, Martha, for sharing that. Some of the taboos associated with menstrual health. If you're just joining the conversation, we are talking about, breaking menstrual health taboos and stigma by also getting men involved. You can also share with us some of the taboos that you have come across, that you've experienced yourself, that you've heard surrounding menstruation. Would love to hear those as well. What challenges, Martha, do these perceptions have in our communities?
These stigmatization and taboos, they create a shame to young women. When you're menstruating, you don't feel confident in yourself. You're walking in the streets, you think everyone knows that you are menstruating, and you feel discriminated. You don't have a sense of belonging the moment you are menstruating. And the other sad thing about these taboos and stigmatization, they create gender stereotypes. Young people, they don't feel self. Young women and young girls, they no longer feel a self. They no longer trust their community. Like, for example, as I was saying, in India, they practice a childbirth. Young women who are sleeping outside, they no longer have the protection of other elder people, and they are subject to sexual violation. They are subject to attacks, animal attacks. They are very a vulnerable community. Another challenge is that these young girls, they won't have a voice to say, today I'm on my periods. So guys, I need money for my sanitary wear, I need this, I need that. And at the end of the day, they hide that they are menstruating. They take, instead of using proper sanitary wear, they end up using things like rags, things like banana peels, leaves, which is not healthy for their reproductive system. And they end up contracting infection, bacterial infection. Another challenge is that these young girls will miss school. Obviously, no one wants to be seen as spoiling their clothes in the event.
It's so
that
uncomfortable.
It's so uncomfortable, and they'll miss the lessons. They don't want to be seen. And when you are having menstruation, sometimes you have cramps. So those things are uncomfortable. The moment you are having cramps, the moment you are saying I've got stomach pains, and people start thinking that you are menstruating, and they'll definitely not go to school. They also feel isolated. And the other thing is that it brings mental health trauma and physical trauma as well.
Okay. That's so true. That's so true. Also want to hear from you, our listener. When you started menstruating, who were you having the conversation with? I'm talking about home, in as far as your menstrual hygiene was concerned, when you were just starting, and not having enough knowledge as to what you should do, where you should dispose, just different things. Who were you having that conversation with? And was it an open conversation? You had to learn as you went on with life. But also want to hear from you, because like Martha has highlighted, a conversation in and but then it's important that we talk about it. Let's have Desmond come in as well. Desmond, as a man, how can men be involved in breaking menstrual health taboos and stigmas?
Thank you, Vikendi. So we can all agree on the role that men have played in sustaining these social taboos and stigmas surrounding menstrual health, which emanates from a point of lack of understanding, and sometimes it just comes out of sheer ignorance, where people just go about talking about things they lack much information on about. So the first thing to getting men involved in ending this stigma is education. We need everyone educated in our society on what menstrual health is and why it happens. And by everyone, this includes boys and girls. They need comprehensive sexuality education. Sometimes even our parents and the elders in our communities, sometimes the conversation might be difficult to be initiated just because even the elders, the ladies, the women in our society, they know what menstruation is, they experience it, but they might not be able to educate the young people to say, look, this is what menstruation is and this is why it happens. They only know what they've been told and what have been perpetuated in our society, the taboos, the stigma that is dirty, you're impure, you're not clean, you're not welcome in our society when you are going through your menses. So we need our society to be educated. And the other thing is we need men to actively participate in advocacy for access to menstrual health, sanitary wear, and sanitary pads. We understand this period poverty where most young people and young girls, especially in rural areas or disadvantaged communities, they don't have access to sanitary wear. And we know sanitary pads, they are sold for money, they are not given for free, and people end up using or substituting these sanitary wear with unclean or rather some materials which can end up disadvantaging them or causing infections and causing other problems. So we need women to have access to sanitary wear in our society. If it's very possible to have them access them for free. Also, we need public toilets in our towns, in our communities, where women can easily change into and keep up with their menstrual hygiene whenever they are going through their menses. And so the other thing is we need to challenge the stigma. We need to challenge these taboos. We sometimes we hear people talk about these taboos in our societies, be it our classes, the schools we go to, at work, our workplaces, the churches we go to. We hear people saying, I know if someone is excessive menstrual pain, you're demon possessed, you have a spiritual husband or a spiritual wife, things like that. We need to challenge these things whenever we hear people talk about them, to say and correct them, say, no, that's wrong. Menstruation is this and it happens because of such and such, and menstrual pain, some of these things are common and it happens and it's natural. So we need to challenge, as men, we need to take the action to challenge this stigma and taboos surrounding menstrual health in our society. And the other thing that men can do to get involved is we need to be allies and provide support to the women in our lives, the women around us. So the best thing we can do is to ask the women around us, our sisters, our girlfriends, our mothers, how best can I be there for you when you are going through your menstrual cycle, when you are going through the menstrual period, right? And the women will surely be able to assist you and say, no, look, when I'm going through this, you can help by doing such and such and such. So basically, these are some of the things we can do. They are not just limited to this, but the most important thing, let's initiate open, respectful conversations on menstrual health in our society, like what we're doing here, getting men involved to talk about these things wherever we are. Like recently, there has been a hashtag going around that says Murume Chai Anodaiso. So instead of misinforming people on social media on gender stereotypes that are unfounded, let's initiate conversations that matter, to say, look, Murume Chai takes care of our sisters, Murume Chai takes care of our mothers, Murume Chai takes care of his girlfriend when he's going through a menstrual cycle. Thank you.
Thank you so much. If you're joining the conversation is breaking menstrual health taboos and stigma, getting men involved, and it's refreshing to also hear, the voice of a man, a young man, really being passionate about this issue to do with menstrual health, menstrual hygiene, and period poverty, as you highlighted as well. Got a message here saying, well, as for me, Vika, and I taught myself because when I started my menstrual cycle, I had Sekuro around, Gogo wasn't around, so I couldn't talk to him. So I had to learn Pasina Kudzirwa, and also from what I heard some girls saying, Kuchkoro. Thank you for that message. You too can 0775897897. Mary, as a young woman, what kind of a society do you wish for as far as menstrual health is concerned?
Thank you very much, Vikendi. I think the kind of society I would reach for is the society which accepts that these taboos is like being a woman who goes to the menstrual healthy or who goes through the menstrual cycle. It's actually normal and it's part of our human being, it's part of our nature. There's nothing we can do to rebook that one. So instead of running around the street saying, I am a witch, or I got my menstrual days. No, that's not the point. It's like what I would wish for is for people to accept both us as women and as men, to accept that being a woman is is part of nature, and you should accept the fact that also being part of the menstrual cycle is also what we can accept, is what the society is supposed to accept. Also, as men, again, I think men should also accept that they are women. The girls, I know their fathers out there will live with their girls, and also there are husbands out there. So I think they should accept that as part of our nature, actually, women go through the cycle of menstrual hygiene. So it's important to also help them through the cycle. I know they experience some difficult cramps, and some even fail to walk, and some even bleed abnormally. So it's time we just help each other go through the process together and break these taboos. I think the egalitarian society, like the equality society, which accepts that women are also human beings, and then they can menstruate. Menstruation is normal. So I think that that's the kind of society I would wish for.
Thank you for that, Mary. And what role do you think men should play to end taboos stigma around menstrual health?
Okay, thank you very much, Vikendi. Like Desmond has said, our men can actually help in breaking the taboos by educating themselves. We have men engagement forums, and actually we can engage with other women as well, so that they can talk, and we can talk as well about these menstrual taboos, and we help each other accept that this is not something which is bad, but it's actually a good thing to have someone who is bleeding. So imagine if you have your girl, or maybe your child, or maybe a woman who doesn't bleed at the age of something, maybe like at the early 20s or late 20s, and you'd start to question yourself, so why is this happening? Because we should actually take it as a normal thing, that bleeding is normal in this part of nature, in this part of our well-being. And also another thing is like men should fight also at these taboos by helping women, by taking into consideration fighting through social media as well. They can do that, fighting through social media, so that they can break the cultures which say when a girl goes to the menstrual periods, she's supposed to be like just away from the society, or maybe taken to a place where she's supposed to be away from others, so that she can clean herself until she's done with the menstrual hygiene. So another thing is right now is like I'm doing the menstrual campaign, and I'm doing the paid campaign. So I think I should also engage men, so that we do this campaign and help the girls.
Thank you. Okay. Wait, Mary, thank you so much. Got a message saying, V Candy, I think they should formulate age-appropriate material for school kids to formally learn about this natural phenomenon and understand it. Same goes for sex and dating. And thank you so much. I totally agree with this. This program, of course, brought to us by SayWhat, with support from the Embassy of Sweden in Zimbabwe. Thank you so much, Desmond Chimanga, Mary Madura, and Martha Matala. Thank you so much for your time.
Thank you, Vikendi. You're welcome.
For your psychosocial support and SRHR related solutions, our toll-free line is 577, and it is always available. You can reach us on that. May is Menstrual Health Awareness Month, and this is what we will be pushing this month. And today the topic, breaking menstrual health taboos and stigma, also getting men involved. Star FM sounding good all the time, Diamond FM as well as Platinum FM. It has been Zim Papers Radio broadcast simulcast.
Africa.